That bus is version 1.10. Okay, I'm going to try to show you a few things here in a while with it. This old house here is built about 1910. Alright. I got another detector here, though. I got to keep it incognito. I can't show it. It slows me down a little bit, but I want to see. This has got some iron in it here, okay? And I've been in here before with some detectors. Even the OJ is too, quite a bit. Stay tuned. Alright, boys and girls. I compared everything I dug and then some with sensitive FT silencer 2 and the fast program silencer 2. And I listened to some different tones in the fast program in conjunction with full tones. But I ran full tones only with the sensitive FT program. So what are my thoughts on this right here? Well, I'll show you what I dug here now. This is the only nail I dug. You see the shape it's in, and I listened to this in both programs. And I think sensitive FT gave a little better signal on it, but not by much compared to the fast program. Okay, now these are all incidental nails dug with coins. See these two screws right here? Okay, the sensitive FT liked these better than the fast program, okay? But the tone on these was real splotchy sounding, alright? Meaning it was hitting these more than once. When you swing over them, you could hear it. Sort of like a little machine gun fire audio. Alright? Now, the audio on this machine, comparing the two with the audio response set the same way, the fast program is more blah sounding. It's not as clean, fresh sounding, but it sounds louder, if you can believe that. It sounds louder, but it's not as clean sounding on targets, on most of the targets, you know, that I listen to. Now, you go into a polluted site, full tones in fast, full tones in that sensitive FT at silencer 2. You're going to hear the targets reporting better in the sensitive FT program, okay? As that call is being moved, you're going to get better signal. That's running the same offset. I ran an offset of 5 and I ran a little bit at 10, both of them. You're going to hear targets better in that sensitive full tones, in my opinion. When it gets real cluttered, you're going to hear them better. It's going to alert you. I don't know what's going on with it. Okay, and I dug one wheat head pin here, a couple of clad dimes. These nails were incidental digs, and this thing right here is reading up there pretty high. It's got leather still in it. Now this bolt right here, this was in the hole with it. And I don't know if that was helping it give pretty good signal on that bolt right there. Okay, now, I'm going to tell you something now. I ain't no engineer, okay? You know, I do run detectors. I've run mine labs. There's a connection, I believe, between the better unmaskers and how they pick up screws, if you can believe that, okay? I don't believe you'll dig as many, the screws won't sound as good in a most single frequency machines. I don't know what causes it, but I've noticed that some of your top unmaskers currently like screws, okay? Well, that's about all I've got to say about it. Now, a beginner using this machine, you buy this sensitive FT program on this machine, version 1.1. My recommendation for a beginner, if you're going to try this, run silencer 3 or 4. Don't run silencer 2. The default is 3. You don't need to be running lower than 3. I believe the sensitive FT is seeing some targets in the ground better, okay? or at least it's bringing the audio to the ear better, okay? But it may be a little bit hotter on some iron to boot. I'm not going to lie to you, okay? You use your ears, and there may be a disadvantage to notching out the iron range. You can hunt with it like that. Might be a good idea to have an adjacent program though with the iron range let in on that machine. If you're gonna notch it to look for targets, I did do that a little bit with sensitive FT. Okay, and some of these screws, and you know, this bolt right here. Now, I didn't check it with this bolt, but what'll happen is it may throw something up into the low 80s on you, okay? And you don't have your iron tone there to listen to. It's taking away some of your nuance you need to make a dig, no dig decision. But you could locate a target without, you know, notching the iron range and then toggle over and check it with your iron let in, and you know, you could check it with a fast program or whatever. Okay, now I only ran it in the 40 kilohertz max range on both of these programs. Okay, we'll just wait and see. We'll let some other people get out here with it. I believe they're going to make some finds in some nail-ridden sites with this sensitive FT program, based on what I've seen in this site right here. And I've been in here quite a bit, okay? And ain't none of these targets sitting out in open for dead kill, except maybe that thing right there. And I dug that thing because it's up here in the driveway. The rest of these were not what I call kill shot. You know, they weren't just laying out in the open based on listening to the iron tone and call, you know, the position, call position, sensitive, sweep speed. You know, they weren't just dead ringers. You know, you had to work at them and be listening. But I could hear them better in that sensitive FT. You know, I compared quite a few targets, okay? All the ones that I dug and some others I didn't dig. I'm not going to dig this yard up. There's a lot of stuff in this yard, and I don't own this property, but they let me detect here. So I hope you enjoyed.